There's one. And there's the other. In probably the ugliest frames you've ever seen in your life. Hello and welcome once again to M Cubed. I am Brian, your host here on the Motley Mix Merchant. Glad you could join me, and thank you very much for dropping by. I'm just a person who is doing a little bit of fun thrifting and reselling on eBay and picking up stuff at garage sales and thrift stores and seeing what I can do as far as turning them over for a profit and reselling them. And hope you'll come along with me on the journey, and let's have a little fun, and I'll learn something from you, and maybe you'll learn something from me too if you're just starting out on this as well. I'm going to get into what I bought today. I made a couple of stops at some Goodwills and another store that I'll tell you about as well. But first I'm going to show you a little bit of footage I took the other day. Friday afternoon, I went across the border. As I said in our first video, I am a Canadian, but I live very close to the American border. So I zipped over the border because there was an advertisement for a 90-house garage sale. An entire neighborhood takes part in this thing, and it was taking place on Thursday evening, Friday and Saturday daytime. Now, I will give you some background. I'm Canadian. Friday garage sales are new to me. They don't exist here. Very, very rarely will somebody have a garage sale on a Friday afternoon or a Friday daytime at all, not even Friday night. Our garage sales are typically only Saturdays from about 8 a.m. to 2 in the afternoon. That's it. And then if there's a lot to sell or they really want to stretch it a little bit, they'll go out on Sundays as well from same thing about 8 until 2 in the afternoon. There is hardly any such thing as a Friday afternoon yard sale here in Canada. So anyhow, I headed over. Lots of houses, but I found out that the Thursday night, this has been going on for a few years in this neighborhood apparently, the Thursday night, they're only supposed to be open for 2 hours. It's more like 4 hours, and it is overrun with people and cars, and you couldn't find a parking spot. And most of the people that I spoke to in their garages or in their driveways said that probably half to 3/4 of their stuff was already gone by the time I got there about 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. So took a look around. I got a few children's books that are staying in the family, but then I headed over. I saw it when I was driving to the garage sale, and I headed back to a store called AmVets Thrift Store. AmVets, V-E-T-S, and it is a veterans charity. The money goes to a veterans charity, and took a little bit of surreptitious secret footage as I was walking along with my phone in front of my chest, basically. But they had a lot of stuff, not very well organized, but they had a lot of stuff and really good prices there too. Now, I didn't buy anything when I was in there because this is being taped on the long weekend, the Memorial Day long weekend, and on the Monday of the long weekend, it's half off the entire store. So I'm thinking of zipping back over if the bridge traffic isn't too bad, and I'm going to drop in on the AmVets Thrift Store once again and see what I can find for half price. They did have some pretty good prices already, so maybe I'll find something that's even better. But they had a lot of nice stuff, a lot of household stuff, a lot of vases, a lot of lamps. The crazy lamp lady Jocelyn would go absolutely nuts in there. There were a lot of lamps. Now, again, I'm no expert, so they could have all been junk. I don't know. See if you see any in the video here that's looks pretty good. And again, and this is a silent video running behind me because, as Jocelyn has found out, the Goodwills are really turning up the music, maybe to dissuade YouTubers from videotaping inside their stores, but it was loud in there. The music was loud, so this is a silent video because I don't want to get any strikes really early on in this YouTube channel's career. So, but it was a very nice place, and going to a good cause, and it was pretty busy in there. So all the best to the AmVets Thrift Store there on the outskirts of that major city across the border from where I live. So came back with a couple things from the one garage sale. Today, though, I did go out, try to hit a couple of yard sales, but it was a torrential downpour in my area today. Most of the morning, it was thunder, lightning, and torrential rain, so all the yard sales pretty much gave up the ghost early and have decided to put it over till Sunday. But I decided to go out anyhow, and I hit a couple of Goodwills, and I got a few things that I'm going to show you, and I also hit another little store that I'll tell you about when I look at one of these items as well. So let's start off. A couple of Goodwill items. This, I found, is a Starbucks via Ready Brew porcelain glass. Perfect shape, removable, reversible rubber grip. It's supposed to have a lid, but this one doesn't have a lid, but I'm sure there's somebody out there who has a lid and a broken cup. And actually this cost me a whole $1 at the Goodwill store right close to my house, and it should go for between $12 and $18 US. So a little bit of profit to be made there. That's one of those things where you just put it up there and it helps pay the bills sometimes. So a little Starbucks cup at one of the Goodwills. Now this other store that I went to, it was a Christian MCC thrift shop is what it's called. It's a Christian charity thrift shop, so good, because here in Canada charity stores don't charge you tax. So I picked up this little thing. It is, I'm going to try and turn it so it's not too bright for you. It is a sectioned, 1, 2, 3 sections with an extra little spot here. A sectioned tidbit tray, single level tidbit tray with a nice handle. Looks like a silver plated or some kind of metal handle. This cost me a whole $1.50. It is Royal Staffordshire. Staffordshire? Staffordshire, not Staffordshire. I'm Canadian, I should know how to pronounce British names. Royal Staffordshire pottery. It is made in England. Royal Staffordshire is a very famous, well-known pottery maker, and so that cost me a whole $1.50 Canadian, which is about $1.10 US. I'm hoping to get in the $20 range for that. I haven't seen any comps on eBay that I've been able to find, but I'm hoping that I can get about $20 or so, $15 to $20 US for that plus shipping. I'm not going to try and unscrew the handle because I'm not sure it's going to go back on if you unscrew it. So I will leave it as is and pack it and ship it as is with the handle attached. But nice little find, $1.50. And again, another nice store, not one of the big name brands, Goodwill or Value Village or Savers or whatever. And they had some really nice stuff in there. And every week, a different color tag is 75% off. So I'm going to be checking that place out and see what color tags are on sale once a week just to see what they have. All right, after that, I went back to another Goodwill, which was on the way home, and I found some stuff. Oh, did I find some stuff? Let's go this one first. No, let's go that one last. Go to that one last. Go this one first. This thing, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. When something catches my eye, I don't really care if it's worth a lot of money or what exactly it is or who makes it. If it catches my eye, and I think it might catch somebody else's eye, I just might pick it up and try and sell it. This thing caught my eye on one of the shelves above the clothing in the Goodwill store that I went to. And there was no price tag on it, so I was a little worried when I looked at it, and sometimes when there's no price tag, it's because they want to see how interested you are in it before they tell you a price. So I tried to act cool when I did ask the girls what the price was on this thing. But this is a cookie jar. And it is made by Lenox Pottery, L-E-N-O-X, Lenox Pottery, the Lenox Village Cookie Cottage fine porcelain lidded cookie jar, and it does have the rubber ring around here in very, very good shape. Absolutely no cracks or discoloring at all. And it does say cookies on the front of the house, which is this side. There's the front that says cookies. This cost me $8. Now, I only paid the $8 because I had a chance when I went to another part of the store to look it up. And this Lenox cookie jar will probably net me $50 US on eBay. They sell from anywhere from $50 to $75 US. So as Raleigh Root says, and I think Jocelyn says it as well, sometimes you don't mind paying up for something, paying a little more than what you're trying to usually stay in the $2 to $3 range for stuff that you're trying to flip over. But this one, after I looked up the comps and I saw how much it was reselling for, I figured I was going to go up to 10. If they said up to $10, I was going to get it, but they said $8, so it cost me $8, again, no tax. And that was a great, great find, and I'm really happy that I found that, and that's going to be up on the eBay site, which is listed below in the comments, by the way. It'll be up on the eBay site really, really quickly. Now, excuse me, I got to back up to show you this. I got these god-awful paintings. Sorry, big mess here. Look at these. This is needlework. Let me get to the right spot here. There you go. There's one. And there's the other. And probably the ugliest frames you've ever seen in your life. They are, somebody has painted over them. They're hand painted, gaudy yellow with a blue trim. The reason that I got these are beautiful needlework, by the way, and all the dirt and all of the marks and everything you see is on the glass. It's on the frames. It's not on the actual needle point. Anything you see, the needle point is actually in very, very good shape. It may be a little ridged because of the handling of it and the way they've got it in the frame, but I'm going to be getting rid of these frames, obviously, before I try to sell it, because there is nobody in the world that's going to buy those god-awful, ugly frames when it comes to getting some nice Japanese artwork. And Japanese or Chinese, I don't know. The birds remind me of a Japanese type of picture, but the lettering looks Chinese. So I'm going to have to research that some more. I have no idea on the comps. Those cost me $6 each Canadian. That's about $4.50 US. I have no idea what the comps are on those. If you have any idea, if you've ever seen these or have ever sold these, let me know in the comments below, and maybe we'll work on it together and find somebody who wants to get some very nice, beautiful needlework artwork, not in frames, by the way. All right, one more thing to show you. And this was, it's one of those things where, you know, you see the name and you watch the YouTube channels and people pick up these things and all of a sudden they're like, oh, that's somebody, that's from something famous. That's a famous brand. And you know, where I live here, I don't really expect it, but it happened. I got this. I was walking down the aisle at my last Goodwill. By the way, this is not cleaned as Jocelyn does on the Crazy Lamp Lady. This is straight out of the bag and off the table and into the video. This, I'm going to try and turn this the right way so there's not much glare. This canister is a beautiful canister. It's got the ridge, it's got the rubber ring or plastic ring, whatever it is, in pristine condition, beautiful shape. Fits right into the canister. I think it was used for cookies. Actually, it looks pretty dusty. I don't think it was used for anything. It was used by whoever had it. It wasn't used by much, but are you ready? It's a Kate Spade. This cost me $5 Canadian, about $3.75 US, and it retails probably for $25 to $35 US in the condition that it's in. But Kate Spade, of course, being a huge name right now, mainly partly, unfortunately, because of her passing last year. But yeah, that was one of those shockers. And even the girl at the counter, when I took it up and she was wrapping it up and she looked at the bottom as she was wrapping it, she goes, "Oh my God, that's a Kate Spade." I said, "Yeah, it is, and it's mine now because I've already paid for it." So. Anyhow, that was an interesting find, and that was a fun find because of the name brand that's associated with it. Actually, and overall, I am very pleased with my haul today, and I spent a total of $28 for 6 things, 4 ceramic things, 2 paintings, $26 for 6 things. So that's what, about $425, $440, $450 per item. But I think my return on this per item is going to be a lot higher than normal when it comes out to averages because of the cookie house and because of the Kate Spade canister. I think I'm going to make out pretty well with today's haul. So that's a quick look at what I got today when I did my little Goodwill run. Thanks to all the rain, there were no garage sales to check out today, and I'm busy tomorrow, so I'm not even going to be going to the garage sales this week. Time to start listing. I've got a ton of stuff to list, and My significant other is pretty much telling me that it's time to start getting some of this stuff out of the house before I start bringing more stuff into the house. And so that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully get some listing done tonight and see if I can't sell some of these wonderful finds that I've made in local Goodwills and thrift stores around my area. So thank you very much for tuning in, and please like this video if I gave you any information that you found useful, or just like it for the sake of liking it, just to help me along as I grow this channel and as we follow along on my journey into the world of thrifting and reselling. And glad you could come along with me, and please hit the subscribe button as well if you're interested in following along, and that way you'll be notified, especially if you hit the bell after you subscribe. You'll be notified every time a new video is uploaded. I think I'm going to upload fairly regularly to begin with, just to get into the flow of things, and then maybe slow down a little bit as we carry on, but we'll see. I'll put them up when I can put them up. So thanks again for joining me, and I will see you soon on another episode of M Cubed from the Motley Mix Merchant. Cheers.